Okay, welcome back, y'all. It's been a couple days, and I've gotten a few more figured out. As you can see, I'm back working on the floor, trying to get the structure back. It's coming together. I'm starting to get all the bracing in, getting a good jump on the trans tunnel area. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to jump to the other side, and I'm going to get this center brace here done because I'm going to put another hoop over the drive shaft right there at the end of the trans. And I'm going to get both of those braces done before I do that hoop there in the center. And then after that, it'll probably just be a bunch of smaller bracing going around doing edges. I'll probably come down here and do some between these. I've got to do some work on this back section here. That structure that's in there was just temporary. I'm happy with it so far. Like I said, I'm just trying to use some round tubing and square tubing and just a little bit of whatever I have. As long as it's sturdy, strong, and looks good when we're done, that's all I'm worried about. Like I said, nobody's going to climb up under it and look at the bottom of the floor, and if so, I don't care what it looks like anyways. But once it's done and we undercoat everything, it won't look bad. You won't be able to tell it. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the other side, and I'm going to start getting that side caught up. And then once that side's done, I'm probably going to work on this center hoop here for above the drive shaft, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so got that one done. They're just a little off. You can see just barely. It won't be a big deal. I'm going to put that, there'll be a arch there, hoop, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick and get that put in. And then after that, I'll probably get ready to start putting maybe some down the sides, because there'll have to be something there for support and welding our panels in. This back area, this has got to be dealt with again. This was just put here temporary to hold the back wall for some support because it didn't have any. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this center hoop done, and then I've still got some more welding to do. Nothing's been welded from the bottom side, so when I take the cab back off, I can get on the bottom side and weld everything else up that needs to be welded up. This bar is just tacked in for the time being. I need to finish welding it in for the most part. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this center hoop and get it knocked down of the way.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts.
Okay, y'all, so there it is. Got that center brace done. I went ahead and welded the top side of this back bar here. I need to weld these a little better on the back and the front. I'm gonna let all that cool down, and I'll probably wait till after dinner, and I'll come back out and get those done. Then I'm probably gonna start maybe some side bracing, and then there'll be more going around the trans. I'm hoping that'll be okay, hoping I don't have to put another hump or hoop, hump, whatever, here in the middle. I may end up having to, though, putting one about right here. But my plan is I'm hoping I can just do it almost as a solid trans tunnel. This should be level with this, or so my level said it was. So, I mean, we should be good. I know the truck may not be necessarily completely level, but that should be close enough. I did have to pull that side up, and this side needed some adjusting too before I actually welded the braces in. But they should be even on both sides. I think it looks even. All my measurements pieces on both sides, they were the same, so it should be even. But yeah, I'm gonna go in, do some dinner, get kids fed, all that good stuff, and then after that I'm gonna start doing some side braces and welding in some of this a little better. Okay, so as you can see, I got out here and got a little bit more done on it. I didn't get as much time this evening as I wanted to get, but that's fine. Tomorrow I'll probably get started back doing some side bracing maybe, and just keep working. I did end up cutting this section here back out and redoing it. It needed to be just a tad bit wider. Somehow I got off, and it was the only one that wasn't even as far as width. And then I done another brace here in the center. I got our two braces here, two braces here, two braces here. And I don't know exactly how many braces I'm gonna actually put, but my plan is I'm gonna put as many as I need to in hopes that none of the floor oil cans or pops or any of that. I think we'll be all right. But yeah, I figured I'd cut you on real quick, show you kind of close up what all we got done. I got this hoop put in. I went ahead and put it in. But yeah, I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. It's very sturdy already. And I'm not even done welding everything in yet, so I would assume once we get everything done on it, it should be good to go. But I'm gonna call it a night here, and we'll get started back on it in the morning.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb.
Okay, so I got this back area here reworked. I filmed this side all in time lapse. That side I just went ahead and knocked out and got it done and out of the way. And then I went ahead and got these two side braces here put in. This one's not as square. It's not as square, like it's not perfect. But it'll be good enough. I stepped it down a little bit here. I'll come in and do a little piece of flat bar there or something to space that out and make it even, so that way when I put my piece of metal I can weld it. But yeah, I got these back areas here done. What I ended up doing was I built it all out of square tubing, inch square tubing. But I ran a piece up in that main support here in the back and spot welded it in really good all the way back, and then just had it step up and done the same at the top. I ran it in so far on both sides, drilled some holes on the top and the side, spot welded it all in, so whenever I come back in I can use that to start filling that area back in. I can use that to make my roll and transition from the back side. Underneath it's not done either, so but yeah, both sides are done. Turned out really good, a lot stronger than they were. Like I said, what was in here before was just temporary. That way the back wall had some actual structure to it, because that was just cut loose. There was nothing in there. But I'm happy with the progress so far. It's already kind of late tonight. I believe it's already like 11 or 11:15. So I'm probably going to call it a night. I got a late start this evening. so I haven't gotten as much done as what I would have liked. But tomorrow I'm hoping I'll probably get my braces from here to here done on both sides, and then I'll probably start tying a few in here on the sides. Once those are done, I'm probably going to put another piece in here, so when I run my piece over there, I can just weld it to that bar instead of having to make it curve up to hit this one. I'll put a straight bar there, weld the bottom piece to it, and then we'll just build a little side piece there. I think is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night tonight. I'm pretty tired and wore out. And then we'll just pick back up tomorrow and hopefully get the majority of the rest of the bracing knocked out. And as soon as I get that done, I'm going to start doing some of this here side, some of the main floor flat area, not the trans tunnel, but everything else. I'm going to start with some 12 gauge that I have. I know that's quite a bit thicker, but hopefully I won't have to worry about any oil cannon where I use that, and it'll hopefully add some strength back in also for that step up area there where it's been body dropped. But I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll see you in the morning.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon. It can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose.
Okay, so I'm back on here trying to get some more support done on the floor today. It's going pretty good. As you can see, I've gotten these pieces here in. I went in, put a piece there and there on the inside. That way we have something flat there for our sheet metal to lay on and weld. I'll probably just make a little panel to go down this side here, and this section here will be flat. I know I could have kind of made that all in one, but instead of trying to make that transition to flat over here, I feel like that'll be a lot easier to do it that way. But I got that done on both sides. I got this brace piece here put in the center on the back. So yeah, just a little at a time. Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just going through measuring 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, whatever, measuring a few pieces ahead and cutting, and then just coming back through and welding them in. I'm probably going to do 2 in this section here and 2 in this section here on both sides, and then I'll see what it looks like after that. I'm still debating if I want to put another brace like center here and maybe one center here. I'm not really sure. I don't think it really needs it. I think I'm going a little overboard on the bracing on the floor, but like I said, a lot of the smaller braces is just to keep the metal from oil cannon or popping or flexing. You know, like these sections here, I may come in and put one here and one here, just being that this is going to be the floorboard area. So if you somebody sitting in the middle of the truck or got a foot resting on it or something, it'll have a little bit of extra support right there in the center. But like I said, I'm going to try to use a little bit of a thicker gauge metal on it anyways, regardless. I know I'm going to do the sides here with some 12 gauge just because I have it. And I may even do this here with 12 gauge. But I'm going to see what I can do with what I have. If I can end up doing it all and I have enough to do it, I may just use all of it. I know it's 4-inch strip, but there's going to be a lot of welding in it anyways. So once it's done, ground down, and I go over everything with some seam sealer and we undercoat the bottom side, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do as far as carpet or what on the inside of the truck for floor. I'm going to try to do some carpet, but it's probably going to be quite difficult finding a piece and getting it to lay right. May just be if I do carpet, I may have to glue it. I'm not really sure. But anyways, I'm going to let all that cool down real good. If you've seen I was wearing my mask, and you may have been wondering why, some of this is galvanized that I'm using just because I had it, and I had a lot of it. Like that C channel is galvanized, and some of the round bar was galvanized. It's not an issue using it. One perk about it, we won't really have to worry about it rusting away. But I was wearing the mask just because it's a little chilly outside today, and instead of having doors open and fans running, I had a little heater on, just keeping the chill out of the garage. So I was wearing a mask, my respirator, just to try not to breathe any of those fumes. If you're welding on galvanized, you don't want to breathe the fumes. It's you can end up pretty sick off of it. So I was just doing that as a caution. But yeah, I'm going to let all this cool, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and come in and measure and put 2 here, 2 here, same on that side. I may even go ahead and measure in for these 2 here and put 1 across there. And then after that, I think a lot of it's just after I get the rest of those done, a lot of it's probably going to be I may come in down here at the bottom and do 1 across on both sides. That way when I run that bar down, or that 12 gauge sheet metal down, I've got something along there also to weld it in. I probably won't put any extra brace in there. It should be fine. Even if I do the 12 gauge here, this would possibly be fine, but I'm still going to put, I could probably get away with 1 in the center, but I'm gonna space it out and do 2 in each one. But yeah, I'm gonna quit rambling and let all this cool down for just a little bit, do some measuring and whatnot, and figure out where we're gonna head, what we're gonna do next as soon as we get these next little braces done. Okay, so it's been a day or two. I had some A-arms and ball joints to change on a buddy's truck. So now that I've got that out of the way, I'm going to get back on this. As you can see, the last thing I've done was I got some more side bracing put in here and whatnot. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go through and I'm going to just try to weld in and get as much of that welded in solid as I can. The majority of it's just tacked in a couple spots. So I'm not going to film all that, but that's going to be my next step. I'm going to try to get as much of that welded in from the top side as I can. I'm going to try to not have to lay up under the truck and lay on the floor. Hopefully I can get enough done to where I can start maybe doing some sheet metal work, but then whenever I take the cab off, the next go around, while the cab's off the frame, I'll get up under there and anything else that I need to weld up, I'll finish welding up. I don't really care for laying on the ground and welding above my head and stuff, so I'm gonna try to avoid having to do that. But that's what I'm going to do next. I think I've picked up enough sheet metal that I should have enough to do what I need to here. I think what I'm going to try to do is it'll be a little bit more welding, but I'm going to try to use that 12 gauge 4-inch strip. I'm going to do it on the sides here and this whole flat section on both sides. I think I'm going to use it there. Just because it's a lot thicker, won't have to worry about it oil canning. Plus it gets it out of my way. I don't have much use for it. It'll be an extra weld seam, but like I said, I'm not concerned with it. And then I picked up some 18 gauge, the other 18 or 14 gauge, it may be 14 gauge, I'm not quite sure. But we've got a local scrap yard and I went out looking for some stuff the other day and seen a decent piece laying, so I just went ahead and picked it up while I was there. And it should be more than enough to do the transmission tunnel area. So I'm going to use the 4-inch 12 gauge strips on everything that's flat, that don't really have any curve or contour to it. And then the 18 gauge or 14 gauge, whichever one it is, I'm going to use it on the trans tunnel. It may be a little thicker, may have a little bit of a headache getting it shaped and formed, but that's what I'm going to use on the transmission tunnel. But I'm going to go ahead and get a bunch of welding done, and then after that we'll see where it's at. Okay, so I got everything for the most part on the top side, or that I can get to from the top side, welded in solid. There's a few spots that I'm still going to hit, but I'm going to hit them from the bottom side just because it'll be easier to get to them. But I'm happy with it. It's very strong. I don't think we'll have any issues out of it. If I need to go back in and put an extra brace somewhere, I will. Something I have decided I'm going to do somehow, somewhere, I'm thinking I want to readdress these rear body mounts because they weren't mounted in the rear center brace, main brace, support, whatever, like they should have been. So I'm thinking of maybe just making some rear body mounts somewhere as I'm doing this floor. I'm not really sure. I'm still thinking over it, but that's something I'm considering doing just so that maybe it'll be easier to do. But anyways, I didn't really run into any issues. No issues. Now, if I wouldn't have had, those were just some bent pieces that I already had for the trans tunnel, scrap bent pieces that I made work for this. Like I said, if I wouldn't have had that, if I would have tried to take some square tubing and make that way, it would have been just a headache and relief cuts, pie cuts, welding it all back solid and everything. So that's why I use those. I am going to I'm gonna readdress this whole area where it ties into the firewall. I just got that in there as a starter pretty much, but I want to readdress that. I don't know that it'll need to be changed as far as size wise, but just I'm gonna make it a little closer and get it a little closer to the firewall so it's easier to tie all that in. I just somewhat slapped that piece in there. It was level and all that, but it was just a somewhat of a starting piece. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do though is, and I've said it before, I've got that 12 gauge. I'm gonna use it on the sides here and all of this here, I do believe. I may even do this flat section here in the back with it, but it's just gonna be too big of a headache to try and get that formed around that trans tunnel. So that's why I went and got a thinner piece. It's still thick, but it's thinner than the 12 gauge. I say it's thick. It's thicker than what the floor was already made with from the factory. So I think we shouldn't have no issues with the floor being weak, oil cannon, or anything like that. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else really that I'm going to try and do before I actually start putting some sheet metal in here. Like the body mount, rear body mounts, I'm not 100% sure on that yet. So just because the one spot that I've considered doing it, it's going to be a headache to get the bolt in and out. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it that way. I may just wait and completely rethink them off to the side somewhere. But yeah, we've got the start to our floor. It's a lot more of a floor than what was in here from the beginning. But I'm probably going to call this the end of this one. Feel like I've gotten a good amount accomplished in this video, and I don't necessarily want to get started on the sheet metal and it just drag this one out. So I think I'm going to stop this one here, and we'll pick up in the next one trying to get some sheet metal put down on the floor, and hopefully maybe even get it for the most part done. I've got to pick up seam sealer and all that. I haven't gotten any of that yet, but my main priority is just getting it in there. Once I get it in there, I can pick up some seam sealer. We'll seam seal everything, and then I'm either, I don't know exactly how I'll do it, but I may wait, and when I pull the cab off, I may undercoat the bottom side then. But once I've got all the sheet metal done and seam sealing done and all that, I'm going to decide if I'm going to put carpet in it, or I may do like a bed liner in the floor or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet exactly what I'm going to do, but we'll figure that out later. But for now, I'm going to call this a video. I want to say I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody subscribing. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.